Hi, this is the video for Chapter 8, Homework 4. Let's do it. So, this one's worth double the points. Double. So make sure you do it. Make sure maybe you watch the video a couple times because this is what the test is on. So I look at my triangle here and I notice that I have one triangle here, BPR, and another triangle here, and I'm being asked to write out the congruent statement. So there's one necklace here, so I'm going to use the letter B first just because they did that. There's two necklaces there, so I'm going to use P second and R third. Then I can use that tool to go in the same order. B, C, D. Okay, now just to double check, see how P and C both have two necklaces? Those are congruent angles, so they should be in the same location, ordering. Good. Now, listing all, there are a total of 6 possible parts that would match. So let's do it. I see angle Y, angle X, and angle A. Angle Y is first, so it should match angle Q. X second, T second, A last, P last. That's the easiest way to list out all the angles. Now to list out all the sides. First and middle, first and middle, middle last, middle last, first last, first last. Okay. Now it says, determine if the following triangles are congruent and state the reason. So my choices are, if you can think of this, it's really choice A, B, C, D, E, or none. Not congruent. Okay, so let's take a look. I have one side matches one side, another side matches another side, a third side, because a reflexive is a match, so this would be side, 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 triangle congruence. Okay, next. One angle matches one angle, one side matches one side, a second angle matches a second angle because of vertical. So that evidence spells angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. Okay, so I have this angle is said to match this angle. This side is said to match this side. And we know, because of reflexive, this side matches this side. Now I have a little bit of a problem here. In this triangle, my evidence spells angle, side, side. Oops, we don't like that word. In this triangle, it spells side, angle, side, SAS. So I have to say not congruent. These cannot be twins because they don't have the same pattern. Next, I got one angle, a second angle, and I have this side because of reflexive. So angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. Last, I got a right angle. So this is actually the side opposite the box is called the hypotenuse. So I actually have one hypotenuse matches the other hypotenuse. One of the legs matches the other leg. So this would be HL, right triangle congruence, because that's actually a right triangle. Good job. Now let's list the missing stuff. So if I'm trying to solve for X, I notice that angle G has an X in it. So angle G, we know, if these are congruent, angle G has to match angle K. Okay, we know angle G is 4x minus 20. We also know that angle K, we can substitute 108. So let's get X by himself. Okay, so I get X is 32. When I divide 4 on both sides, I get 128 divided by 4 is 32. Now let's see what would I need to set up. So what corresponding part do I need to solve for Y? Well, let's take a look. it looks like this side is y, but I don't know what that side is, so that's not going to help me. This side is 12, and this side is 3y minus x. So JK, I got to double check, but it looks like JK might match FG. JK, first and middle, FG, first and middle. So that's the one I want. JK matches FG because they're first and middle. We know that's 12, and that's 3y minus 15 using our diagram. Now let's get y by itself. Cool. Last but not least, what is KL? So that's interesting. KL is just labeled y, so that would mean KL has to be 9, because y is 9. Let's keep going. Now we've been given these two triangles are congruent. Same setup here. If I knew angle C, I know C matches A, but I don't have an expression for A. So I'm going to have to use this x, not that x. Okay, so this angle D. Notice angle D is at the same location. So angle D in the left triangle has to match angle D on the right triangle. And we know that the one on the right is actually 90 degrees. The one on the left is also 90 degrees, but we are given an expression for x plus 10. So let's get x by itself. Okay, so x is 20. Now we've solved the mystery of the x, so we can figure out the measure of angle C just by substituting the number 20 in here. So 20 plus 11 would be 31. Okay, now let's solve for y. So to get y, it looks like first and middle, AB, matches CB. CB, first and middle. So setting these equal to each other, AB has to match first and middle, has to match first and middle. We know AB is, well, make sure I write this down correctly, y minus 7. CD is 12. Okay, so I get y is 19. All right, now 11. I don't see a shape, but I also may be able to do this without one, so let's give it a try. I know AB is the line segment, first and middle, has to match DE, which is first and middle. So I know if I'm listing corresponding parts that these two have to be congruent. So AB we know is 2x minus 10, and DE we know is x plus 20. These are plus signs. So to solve for x, we merely subtract, oh, sorry, my lights went out. Wow, scary. Okay, subtract x on both sides. So we get 1x, add 10 on both sides, we get 30. So x is 30. Now they want to know what AB is. Well, we already know AB is 2x minus 10. So if x is 30, 2 times 30 minus 10 would be 60 minus 10, which is 50. Okay. Let's do a proof. So I went ahead and got my patterns and proofs because I should use my notes to do my work. I see this word midpoint. Given x is the midpoint of ST. So given x is the midpoint of ST. Yep, they wrote both of those down. And given that these two are perpendicular. Yep. Prove this. So that always has to be the last step, and they copied that down too. Now we're not going to write prove there because that's the verb of everything we're doing. So let's get to work. When we see that symbol, our notes say that symbol requires 2 steps. To list the 2 angles that are right angles and then to set them equal to each other. So I'm going to do just that. Oh, they did part of it for me. They listed the 2 angles and said they're right angles. And that's called the definition of perpendicular. Okay? Then they set them equal to each other, and that's all right angles are congruent. Running out of room, so I definitely have to start abbreviating. That's the congruent symbol. So we're supposed to, if this is perpendicular to this, we're supposed to add a box, set the two, list the names of the two boxes, which they did, RXS, RXT, and then set the two equal to each other. Okay, now let's deal with this midpoint. My notes say, if I see the word midpoint, I have to address that the left has to equal the right, and that's the definition of midpoint. So if X is in the middle of ST, then I have to put 2 marks because ST is a line segment. And, oh, they did that for me too. The left and the right have to be equal, and that's the definition of midpoint. Hopefully extra practice is helping you get the hang of it. Now they also said RX is congruent to RX. So that's this line right here. I'm going to put 2 marks there. That's what we call the reflexive property. And now looking at the order of my evidence, side, angle, side, side, angle, side, they said side, angle, side. That's my triangle congruence. Okay. So the one part they left out is my congruent statement. So I have to put triangle, the one on the left, SRX, SRX, has to match the triangle on the right, TRX. Cool. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to pick up there on the next video.